using the Mark Bell Slingshot knee sleeves. I just got this pair. A couple things. One, I like the knee sleeves are a little bit shorter. This is actually gonna be my first time using these type of knee sleeves. The reason I'm using them is because I got messed up knees. They're not like, I've never blown them out or anything, just normal wear and tear. And by using a knee sleeve, it just makes my squats smoother and it takes the strain off of my knees so I can focus on getting that good lift in. They are going to help you squat a little bit. However, because of that, I went a size up. So these are actually extra large so that they give me that protection that I want, but they're not really helping me too much with my squat, if that makes sense. I recommend using knee sleeves to nearly everybody. You really don't have any knee pain. There's no need to, but when your squats start getting really heavy, I recommend it. So what I'm doing is I turn them inside out to put them on upside down. About there. And all I'm doing is grabbing from the top and sliding it up over my knee. Boom, ready. More important stuff. So in the beginning, you saw me doing like a warm up with my resistance bands. Those are the Booty Queen apparel bands for starters. They're a really great set. I've been really liking them. The thinnest one is still pretty freaking heavy duty. Like the thinnest one's probably about as heavy as the heaviest it is in a normal set. So I use those to warm up. The reason being is because I want my glutes and my hip flexors and everything to be firing before I start doing my squats. When you guys warm up this way, you get the correct muscles firing before you do the heavy lift. That means that those weaker muscles won't like give out. You won't be using the incorrect muscles. The incorrect muscles won't be firing during your lift. I always warm up with for my squats that way because I feel like 50% of the female population, I got crappy hips. So that's one way to avoid a lot of hip injury and any sort of muscular imbalances. Second thing is, you guys see when I'm doing my warm-up, I don't use a lifting belt. I have two different lifting belts. This is the Inzer lever belt that I use. I use this one for all like my heavier lifts, and then I do have a chic like soft belt or fabric belt, nylon, I think, but I use that when I'm doing a little bit higher reps. The reason I don't use my belts when I'm warming up is because that's when I want my core to start engaging, and by doing so, getting that ab workout in a little bit, because all those muscles are bracing for my squat. If you don't do that, chances are, like if you lift the belt constantly, chances are like all of your ab muscles are gonna be, it's kind of hard to kneel with these sleeves also. Chances are your abs are not gonna be getting the strength that they need to. They're gonna be pretty weak. So I recommend like if you're lighter weight, go ahead and wear a belt or wear one of the fabric or softer belts. This is a great belt. I've had it for several years now. It's adjustable, you can see back when I was skinny. But it's a great belt. The reason for belts, I think a lot of people don't realize, is so in your back you have your spine. So what a belt is simulating is having a spine in your front so that you're bracing against it. You still want to go at the top of your lift so that you're pushing on those ab muscles, you're using all those bracing muscles to push against the belt. So you've got a wall essentially on both sides. So that's the purpose of the belt. For anybody that wants to keep their waistline really small too and avoid blocky abs, it will help with that. However, it shouldn't be a huge concern. So, all right, deadlifts, I prefer conventional, which is feet shoulder width apart. I'm gonna be pulling sumo though, because when you in a sumo stance, it takes a lot of your quads out of it, so you're really firing those hamstrings. It's really posterior chain movement, and that's about it. Kind of illiterate right now apparently, but that's what I'm gonna do. I've always found that deadlifts and other things like this movement are actually better for building glutes than the squat. It's kind of a controversial thing, in my opinion. The whole like squat booty, it's not true. So you can at me if you want. That's my stance on it. Yeah, I'm gonna do these sumo pulls. There you can probably see why I don't do a lot of sumo pulling. Well, I prefer conventional. My hip mobility sucks. You really have to make sure that you can open up your hips when you're doing a sumo pull. Otherwise you're going to be leaning over it. Your back's going to be firing more. It's exactly what you don't want. But doing it this way, great for the glutes, great for the hams, and a reminder that I need to work on my hip mobility. Something I want to hit on really quick with these, I see a lot of girls jacking them up, is you're not a ballerina. I mean, you might actually be a ballerina, but you're not trying to be a ballerina. So what I mean by that is I see a lot of girls kicking way back, and all it really takes is you just squeeze it. So like, that's it. That's it, okay? All you're doing is trying to squeeze it through, make it ball up. You're not kicking way back, because at that point you're taking, the muscles already contracted. You're just going past the muscles trying to work. So not necessary whatsoever. When I'm doing the movement, I'm not leaning here. I can be right here. My glute can go to its full contraction. That's all it is. And really I think that's it. The other thing too is maybe you don't have to go super heavy on this movement. I like to set to like 12 to 15, because when you start to get the heavier weight, that muscle is not going to be able to perform the movement correctly. You're going to start having some other muscles take over, making the workout obsolete. So, it's my tips and tricks on that. Great glute movement, and yeah, I'll take you through one more set. Oh, also, I bought these chic. They're really handy to have around, because like this gym doesn't have ankle straps, and then some gyms have them, but maybe like because everybody's using the Velcro's worn out. So it's a handy piece of equipment to have, you guys, ladies especially, and yeah. here behind me, and I'm going to be doing some pull squats. So one of the main things that the glute is like responsible for is firing you back up past 90 or parallel. And so what I'm doing here on the Smith machine is I'm going to get in that sumo stance again, and I'm going to be going way below parallel, or just below parallel. Maybe I shouldn't sell myself so high, but I'm going to go below parallel, and then I'm going to just be focusing on like squeezing my glutes. So I'm not even going to go all the way up. So these are called pull squats. You can do them on the Smith machine, you can do them on a squat rack, with a dumbbell, doesn't really matter. I'm going to do them on the Smith machine so that I can get more glute activation, because what's going to happen is I'm going to lean against the Smith machine. By doing that, I'm putting more of my weight behind me, and it's going to be making those glutes have to contract even more. That's why I'm choosing to do them on the Smith machine. So, not really sure how many reps I'm going to do. I'm kind of exhausted already, but whatever. I did not just use my shaker cup to help me stand up. Okay, next exercise. Oh, I can't do it, he's on there. Get off the machine. Alright y'all, so now it's left to be worked. So I'm going to be on the hamstring curl here, and I'm using the lying one specifically. So what I'm going to be doing is actually kind of a variation of a glute kickback. If you have a GHD machine in your gym, I really don't know how to describe what it would look like. Just Google it. Or maybe it's a challenge, you know, for me to figure out how to make a photo pop up here. Wouldn't that be cool? Somebody tell me how to do that. Well, don't really, because obviously if I did or did not do it. Anyway, so it's going to be a variation of kickback. So I'm actually going to superset with hamstring curls. But I'm going to be sliding all the way down. I'll show you guys here in a second. I'm going to put my knees underneath this, and I'm going to kind of like frogger my feet. Makes sense? Everybody else in a second. I'm going to make like a diamond. Yes. My knees. So knees are out. So it's going to be together. That makes any sense at all. Oh, sorry guys. Anyway. Let me just show you. So, these here. Hold it. Put it down. Grip. I'm gonna do an inch here. Feet together. but what I mean by that is I'm just really trying to completely exhaust my glutes. I've gone through kind of some muscle building exercises and some toning exercises, some shaping exercises. So now I just want to totally exhaust my butt. What I'm going to be doing here is hip thrusters. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. Cable, you can do it with a bar. I'm going to be using these softballs, I think they're called. Hey, they're both so good. Also, I have a BOSU bar right here. I'm going to be putting my feet on. And then a resistance band. The reason for using a resistance band when you're doing these, the way I'm going to show you guys, is that you're going to be, while your glutes are firing to push you up, your abductors are going to be firing in order to keep your knees out. So, really getting that whole booty lift right there. But I'm also going to put a 45-pound plate in my lap for some extra resistance. If you can't handle all that, you start eliminating things. You can do these from the floor, without weight. You can do them with just a resistance band, do them on a bench. It's a very versatile movement. You can really do anywhere, do it from home very easily. And yeah, so going for high reps and maybe even till failure. Hold these. Okay, so I got the band up around my knees. So this whole time, I'm going to be making sure that my knees are staying out, and that's going to be firing up those abdominal muscles.